Recording.
Can you sit up with it to make sure that it stays recording?
Hey. And there's Marlene. And here I am. Hello.
Not fun to see you.
Now? You know I'm here. And one second. There you go. Okay.
Goodbye to all my dear friends and family that I love. Today is the day that I have chosen to pass away with dignity in the face of my terminal illness. This terrible brain cancer has taken so much from me, but it could have taken so much more. This quote is a goodbye Facebook message from Brittany Maynard, a 29-year-old with a terminal brain cancer who spent her last days fighting for dying with dignity laws. Today, I will be persuading you to support physician-assisted suicide being legal and available to medical centers nationwide. We should all care about this topic because anybody could become ill at any time, and it's important to preserve basic human rights even in our time of imminent death. I care deeply about this topic because while being terminally ill is out of our control, I believe we do have some say in the matter. Choosing to die under physician-assisted suicide is a way we can say, hey, terminal illness, before I let you put me in a world of pain that neither myself nor my family are ready to face, I do have the right to go on my own terms, in my own way, in the comfort of my own home. In my mind, it is a basic human right held by us all to be responsible for our own lives and making decisions accordingly. Today I will be discussing what physician-assisted suicide is and the problems regarding it, the causes for the issues that regard physician-assisted suicide, and the steps that we as individuals can take as a nation to resolve these issues and get it to be legalized in all states. Physician-assisted suicide, according to an article on Medicine.net, is the voluntary termination of one's own life by administration of a lethal substance with the direct or indirect assistance of a physician. The main issue with physician-assisted suicide is that it's only available in certain states. According to an article on PAS, or Physician-Assisted Suicide, on procon.org, only 4 of 50 states have legalized physician-assisted suicide, and these states are Oregon, Vermont, Washington, and Montana. According to the same article, 46 states in America do not have physician-assisted suicide legal, which means that unless the patient can be moved to a state where PAS is legal, they can only die on the terms of their own illness. Many terminal illnesses are extremely painful for the patient to experience both physically and mentally. For a patient to have to wait for their own illness to kill them, it could be weeks or months of prolonged pain. Not everybody has the ability to move to a state where PAS is legal, and therefore gives them the right to end their own life before the extreme pain starts. Therefore, they die in pain and, in the case of some patients, without dignity. There are many reasons why physician-assisted suicide is not supported. These causations are, but are not limited to, avoiding profit-driven healthcare. According to an article by Marilyn Golden, the cost of lethal medication is far cheaper than most long-term medical treatments like chemotherapy. The incentive to save money by denying treatment already poses a significant danger, and there would be an even greater danger if assisted suicide was legal. Another reason PAS is not supported is the fact that many physicians and government officials believe that indignity is more of a cause for patients to engage in assisted suicide than the actual cause of physical pain. In the same article by Marilyn Golden, an assisted suicide advocate said, "Pain is not the main reason we want to die. It's the indignity. It's the inability to get out of bed or even onto the toilet." Later in Golden's article, she stated, "Death is not better than reliance or assistance." A third reason PAS is not supported is the so-called fact that undiagnosed depression in terminally ill patients results in higher requests for PAS. Golden states primary care physicians cannot expertly diagnose depression. Where assisted suicide is legalized, undiagnosed depression goes untreated, and the only treatment is a lethal substance. There definitely are ways, however, we can resolve issues regarding the fight against physician-assisted suicide, and therefore having it legalized in all states. One of the ways to resolve these issues is by helping physicians and the government to realize that while giving patients the right to die may be less expensive, it does not mean that there will be a large upside in healthcare spending. Dr. Merrill Matthews claims, considering the way we finance healthcare in the United States, it would be hard to make an argument that there is a financial imperative compelling us to adopt physician-assisted suicide in an effort to save money. Another way we can resolve the issues against PAS is to preserve a more humane outlook on the right to die, realizing that indignity causes just as much mental pain as the terminal illness causes physical pain. Dr. Philip Niche says, under Hippocratic oath, doing no harm means, yes, that we should help a patient to die to ensure good medical end-of-life care. A third way to resolve the concerns of physicians against PAS is by allowing all patients to engage proper psychiatric therapy before ultimately making the decision to die on their own terms. Having patients who are terminally ill see a psychiatrist can diagnose, threaten, and hopefully cure any depression that is believed to be the cause of their interest in physician-assisted suicide. So, what can we do? We can change the ability for PAS to be legalized from a government decision to a more democratic one. The decision to partake in assisted suicide is far more personal than the state cares to recognize. It affects not only the individual, but immediate family, close friends, and relatives as well. We are people of a country where we as individuals decide who leads us. Why should our right to die when terminally ill be any different? The decision to legalize PAS should be a decision of the people, not of the leaders of the state. Therefore, I propose that all citizens legal to vote should be allowed to vote for whether or not physician-assisted suicide should be legal in their own individual state. I have explained what physician-assisted suicide is and the problems that have arisen from it, the causes for these problems, the solutions that can help change the minds of those against PAS, as well as a new approach that we as American citizens can take towards legalizing physician-assisted suicide. As an individual who totally understands that these circumstances could happen to myself or anyone for that matter, I encourage you all to let your voices be heard when it comes to medical issues and decisions such as this one. What would you do if your daughters, sons, mothers, parents were in this situation and had no other choice? Remember that it is the decision of the patient that matters, and it is about what they want. Thank you all for coming out today, and have a great evening.
Thank you. Very well.